What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. I've been gone for a bit. I'm sorry, but I can't really talk about too much of what's going on. Just know that life's been getting in the way. It's just the way the cookie crumbles. But car's still here. There's a lot to talk about. I'm gonna save that for another video. For today's video, what we're gonna be doing is talking about the shifter dome. Real quick, I'm very torn on doing this video. Part of me just wants to install this, not make the video, and give zero attention to this company, because in complete transparency, this company sucks. This is called Shadowcraft. I call him Shadow Cunt. I don't like the guy. There's a million people online that talk about this guy and his products and his shady practices and his excuses, taking people's money, not delivering what he promised, taking forever to deliver even just the subpar product. So there's just been a lot going on with this guy. I know he goes by other names, Chicago something composites, and there's a whole lot going on with this guy. The guy's a real dickhead. I'm going to show you right now. I waited, I think, a couple months for this product, and this is what it looks like. It's not bad. It's carbon fiber, and it's got, you know, dark red stitching on it, but then you flip it over. It just, I mean, again, I'm no professional. I just don't know, you know, I don't know what to make of the inside of this. It just looks like complete dog shit to me. But what we're going to try to do today is install this into the Hellcat. I don't know how it's going to go. I've watched a few little videos, so I do have a general idea on getting the shifter out. Once the shifter's out, then I guess we're going to take it back to the bench and figure out the rest from there. And yeah, let's just jump into this video. Alright, ladies and germs, so we are inside the car right now. For the steps that we need to figure out here, I know first of all we need to push these aside, these side things, and I've done this before. So you're basically just gonna push this here, and over here I haven't really done much too, but there we go. I would assume that that's about it. So basically the whole idea is you want to be able to, okay, you want to do that, but just not that way. Jesus Christ, freaking baby Hercules here. Alright, so now that this is up, underneath here there are going to be clips. If you just move your hand around, you'll feel them. So we're just, there's one here, one here. It's going to be the same on both sides. Okay. And then the only final little thing is going to be this clip here. So just so you know, there is, on the underside of this, a tiny little like thing here that you need to take a pick and push in to get it out of this clip. So once that's out of this clip, we should be able to lift this up enough to expose this hex right here. So basically you're going to want to use a T25 bit. You're going to put that into here. Now, just a word of caution, there's definitely some kind of Loctite or something on there, so when you're loosening this up, it's going to have some crazy resistance. Don't be worried, you're not tightening it. Even though you're going lefty-loosey, that's the right way to go. Just keep doing it, eventually it's going to come loose, and then what you're going to end up doing is you're going to pull up and out. So there's definitely, probably because it's plastic with a whatever, but this is where the screw hole goes and it locks in there. So basically what we could do now is take this setup and go over to our bench and not be so claustrophobic. So now that we're on the bench, I'm gonna take a second to just appreciate Jose from MODFX. I'm gonna put his information down in the description below. So I was sitting here fiddling around with this, and just for shits and giggles I decided to message this man. Not only did he read the message very, very quickly, but he's sitting here trying to recite the procedure to fix this, well, not fix this, but to like finish this, do this process and get this going so that we could actually finish this little project. So I'm going to explain basically what he told me. So far, where we're at right now is that screw that we did loosen to get this out, we need to remove completely. So we take that out because right here, this cream colored collar, this needs to come out along with the boot. So if you look here, this is a pry situation here, and you know, you're gonna have to figure out whatever way works for you. For me, I was doing a combination of prying and lifting with my fingers, obviously not my tentacles. I'm not an octopus. And now we're to this point where we could basically just keep prying it and lifting it, and eventually what it's gonna do is this boot apparently is gonna come off. This is just like, you know, I don't know when I bought this if I thought that this was just gonna be one of those like, oh, I'm gonna pop this off and screw this shit on. I don't know what I thought this was gonna be, but this is turning into a pain in the ass. So this piece here comes all the way off. This little decorative piece comes off as well. So now this is what we're left with. And basically from here, we just need to separate the top and the bottom. I'm assuming there's some kind of clips. I'm trying to verify right now before I break something, but I think we're close, because once we separate the top and the bottom, there should just be a simple way to attach this, and then we should be able to just put it all back together, put it back in the car, and boom. So let's see what happens here. So if you honestly want to hear the most ridiculously scary noise ever, start prying on this thing. So he told me just be very gentle so you don't break any clips. So I just wiggled this in here and I went like this, and as you can see, there's a tiny little gap. So basically what I'm gonna try to do is just go around this whole thingamajigger, and hopefully we're able to pry it. Oh my god. Okay, so apparently down here I was just fiddling around and I was pulling, and this decided to come off. So if you could see in here, right in there, there's like a locking relief hole thing, and that's where this piece goes. So I guess this is a cap so that I could go back inside, and poof, that separates. Isn't it crazy when you have the right people to talk to and you can end up pulling the rest of it off one-handed? And I'll be damned, there's the little screw that we're gonna need to attach our thing to. We're getting there, folks. Oh boy, let me tell you, screw all that. So let's recap. We took the shifter off, we put the shifter on our bench, and then we had a panic attack. After the panic attack, we contacted Jose at MODFX, and he was so polite and kind enough to help us. So basically he told us about this stupid cream colored clip in here that we had to pinch and pull. So we pinched and pulled. Then we took this collar off, and then I wasn't paying attention to the instructions when I should have, and I was trying to pry it without having this off. But now that we know, we're gonna future reference here, this comes off. So that clip came off, and it's like easy as pie at that point. So now, from the looks of it, we just have to remove this little tiny screw, and this should pop off, and then we should be able to hopefully put that on there. Let's see what we got. Alright, so the final little piece of the puzzle basically just involves wedging your pry tool in here, going around, lifting, and it should separate enough it should separate enough where we can just pull it out, and basically inside there's just this little stem, right? Alright guys, this is the final product. Just want to give you guys a look at it. I waited a long time for this, so I am disappointed that there is a gap here. So all in all, I am going to put it back in the car. Everything is put back together. So basically, reassembly is just going to be the reverse of what you did. So when you get to the point where everything is disassembled and this is split apart here, and you know, you put this on. So you're going to put the screw back in, tighten this down, make sure everything's good. You're going to close this back up. Just be careful because there's clips inside here all around the inside here where this would split, and very easy to break those, so just be mindful of them. And then you put this cap back on, so now that's all nice. Then you're going to just slide that up, slide this protective ring on, and then basically just slide the boot back on. Make sure that the sides there click into place, and you should have a fully put together piece. So let's put it back in the car and be done with this nightmare. Finally, I've had this product sitting in my garage for I don't even know how many months, and I just haven't found the time to do it. I know that sounds weird, but I did it. It's done. So I guess this is the point of the video where, you know, you ask yourself, why? Why did we put this on the car? And you know, the simple and long answer, I guess, at the same time is I paid for this. I paid for this product. I waited a while to get it. I knew, based on how things were going with this guy, that this product was gonna be a giant pain in the ass. I think putting this on the car is more of a principle type thing than anything. So in full transparency, what I had to do to get this to work, because obviously I'm not recommending this product, I'm just showing you what was done, and you know, like I said before, I'm tossing out a lifeline. Maybe somebody could help the community and create something like this, but execute it much better, and you know, not be such a dick. So there's a gap here, a little gap. Let me see if I can catch it on camera here. And what I ended up having to do is, on the inside of here, there's white, like plastic, that's connected to here. So what I did was I took a black paint pen and I colored that in. So now that seam inside looks black. So you're not looking at anything. It looks a lot better. Trust me, it's so much cleaner than it could have been. The other thing I did was the screw that came with this was very narrow. It wasn't girthy at all. The material on the inside of this, on the upper portion, that was very flimsy. I think it might have been acrylic. I really don't know much about what went on with the creation of this, but it wasn't anything strong, and the screw itself wasn't even long enough for me to feel like it was going to make a good enough connection. So I ended up digging through my toolbox and I found a wider and longer screw, not by much, by any means, not by much, but just enough for me to feel comfortable. So basically what I ended up doing is I put the bigger screw in, and it was just enough to touch. Obviously nothing's poking through, so it worked out. And before I put it in there, the hole that was inside of here, I put a little bit of Gorilla epoxy, clear epoxy inside of there. And when I put the screw in, I let this sit. So when we actually came back to the final installation, this was already sitting for a couple hours, and then I didn't drive the car for at least, what was it, 24 hours? So it's solid. Like I said, it's not going anywhere. It's on. Do I love it? I don't love it. I don't love it. I don't love it because the guy was a complete asshole, and because of what I had to go through. I love it because it's different. There's not many of these around. I know Jose at MODFX, he has a few cars at his shop that had these, and there might be a few other stragglers, but the amount of people that have this is very few and far between. So it's just something for you to look at. It's something, you know, a little bit different than the norm, but that's about it. You know, I just wanted to film something, and then also it's not necessarily a video about that specific product here. It could just be, this is the process to eliminate that. Say you want to take that leather off. Now at least you know how to pry that leather piece, the top part. So maybe you want to get that custom done by somebody that actually has a brain. You might be able to reuse that top portion if you want to be down without the shifter for a little while. As Jose told me, and you guys need to be very aware of it too, when you get to this point, just make sure when you're prying this, there are very fragile clips in here, so be very aware that they could break. I did have one that cracked in the middle a little bit on the back side, so what I ended up doing was taking a little bit of epoxy and putting it on there. I let that cure, obviously, and it went on without a hitch, no problems, so I have a feeling it'll be just fine. And yeah, I drove the car after this was all said and done. Works fine. It feels strange having these stitches here, so like when you're driving, you can feel it obviously right in the palm of your hand, so it feels different, but you know, everything still works. You know, the functionality of it, I do drive in manual mode quite often, so I was driving with that, and you know, it worked out just fine. I had no problems. So overall, execution wise, thanks to me and my brain, we got it to work. Otherwise, somebody else probably would have put this under their car tire and ran it over. Thank you so much for watching. I honestly appreciate every single one of you that tunes into this channel. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. I genuinely appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one.